Welcome to the HDI Training Days Roadmap Series. This is a preview with 4 of our most popular HDI faculty members, Jim Bolton, Catherine Lord, Julie Moore, and John Custy. They're here to give you a sense of what this great series is going to be about on June 21st and 22nd. And with that, I'd like to introduce Jim.
Hey, thanks, Linda. This is Jim Bolton. Well, hey, guys, I'd like to get started thinking about incident management and why it really should be the first stop on our roadmap to service optimization, largely because for many users, this is their first interaction with IT. Maybe more importantly, it's the interaction that's emotionally charged because some service that we're supposed to be delivering to them from IT is not working properly. So incident management becomes extremely visible. A lot of times I use the term curb appeal because we may not know what's inside the IT house, but we definitely know what it looks like out from the outside. So incident management, key to our success here. What do you think, Julie?
Oh, I don't know about you, but I think it's all about value. I think understanding exactly what our customers want and need from us is very pivotal in making certain that the incident management process is designed to deliver that value. So from my perspective, I think it's incredibly important for us to focus in on those customer touch points and really design an experience that provides exceptional value. What do you think, Catherine?
Well, I agree with you, Jules, but one of the things I think everyone's totally missing constantly when I'm looking at process improvement is the whole people side of the world, right? You get best intentions at level 1, you know, we drank the Kool-Aid, we're doing a great job, we're putting in an ITIL-based incident management process, and the guys at level 2, level 3 have no concept of this service-oriented approach, and we end up with constantly things dropped the ball, things that nobody wants to own, tickets that aren't resolved, and missed expectations, right? From the customer's perspective, to Jim's point, their entire perception of IT is based on that. So I think without looking at some of the people stuff, we're just going to have a really hard time looking at the optimal level for what you want to do. John, what do you think?
Well, I think all 3 of you have great points. And I think the key thing is we need to be looking at the people, the process, and the technology. And I think the challenge for many organizations is they've got lots of the pieces there, but they actually don't know how well they're performing. So one of the things we need to make certain is that we are really measuring the people, we're measuring the process, we're measuring the technology, and we're measuring how the customers think we're doing to be able to put all of that together and have a real balanced look at what the performance of the organization is to make sure that we can deliver the value at the right cost for our customers.
But doesn't it almost become a chicken and egg thing? Like, how can you know what you need to do and all that good stuff without those initial metrics? But if you don't have all the infrastructure and the process and things in place, how can you capture what you need to know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, Catherine, that's a good point, Catherine. I guess the thing that comes to my mind is, even as I'm looking specifically at incident management, if we don't understand how important it is for each one of those customers, why that service is important to them, or why that service is so important for the line of business, we won't know how to prioritize our work and make sure that we're doing our work in the sense that it's meeting the best needs of the business.
You bring up an incredibly good point, and I think this is something that we need to kind of step back and take a look at. A lot of times we just begin measuring and we begin looking at things and making changes. I think the whole point of the Roadmap series is that we kind of take a step back and say, you know, how can we make all of these things work together successfully? I mean, if you're just measuring customer satisfaction, you're likely to make a lot of changes based upon only your customer feedback, not really looking at like the cost that John was talking about and the process, Jim, that you were talking about, and the partnerships that we need to make certain that we can create that value. So I don't know about you guys, but I am so looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a great series, a lot of good content to help people put the pieces together.
You know, I think it's a great point, Jules, that we really need to think of a lot of different things here. And Catherine, to your point, you're right. A lot of people are different places. And I think one of the interesting things we're going to get out of this series is the fact is we're really going to help try to put together a roadmap. And it really depends on the maturity of the organization of where they might be to what the next step is. It also depends on some of those goals. And I think that the key thing is we're going to try to present here is some of the key points that regardless of where you are in your level of maturity, what are some of the key things you should look at? And granted, most organizations are not going to have everything. but that's pretty much an ideal world. Nobody has everything. So we're going to present to them enough pieces that there's enough for them to grab a hold of to figure out what really is the next thing they should be doing and how should they put that in place in order to provide more value to their customers, which is going to help their business succeed.
Hey, John, that's a great point. You know, I think a lot of organizations that we've all had an opportunity to work with, or students that we've had in different classes or virtual classes that we've taught, the question always comes up, well, this whole service management thing just seems so difficult and it's overwhelming, and I'm not really sure where to start. So I think the big value of this session that we're going to be providing is, how do we get started from a really practical perspective? What are the key components to this to help your organizations be successful? So I'm really looking forward to doing this.
Yeah, and you know, Jim, I think a great point you brought out there is all these things we're talking about really about how we're going to help enable the people. Because I think too often we get caught up with the process and the technology, and we lose sight that without the people, we really can't deliver these services that our customers are looking for. And we really need to be looking at how all these things we're talking about are really going to help put the right tools in place and the processes so that the people that are doing the jobs are really enabled to deliver the right level of service to their customers.
Thank you, guys. I am really looking forward to inviting everybody and seeing everyone in our new theater on Tuesday, June 21st and Wednesday, June 22nd. I encourage you all to come early, linger after it's over. We have 2 sessions a day with an intermission where John, Julie, Jim, and Catherine are going to be available to lead some discussion rooms in our chat rooms, as well as the opportunity for you to network with all the other people that are going to be participating in this series.